Right, you might have seen my early review on the A&M Custom Gunsmiths Marksman silencer, and it's one of their bigger silencers. Really chunky bit of kit, very lightweight though, but nonetheless quite long, and with a pretty decent diameter on it as well. So I wanted to put this on my 2.5 cal Priest. I know I've got a 2.5 bored out Hugget on it, but the Hugget's a little bit small perhaps for the 2.5 caliber pellet. I don't think it quietens it down that well, to be honest with you. So I was hoping this great big thing here would do the trick. And whilst I was assured by A&M Custom Gunsmiths that they were capable of firing a 2.5 caliber pellet through it, I must admit I was a little bit wary of that because it looked a very, very tight fit. I mean a really tight fit. Now I know that if they're too big, you obviously lose some of your sound suppression because the air just comes out from around the sides. But even so, it was really tight, and I didn't want to wreck my silencer, and I didn't want to wreck my rifle, and I didn't want to spoil my groups. So what I did, to cut a long story short, I took an extra mil, enlarged the hole by a mil, drilled it out to an extra mil, and these are all the baffles that go inside of one of these things. And if you look at them, they've got like a scallop side and then a flat side. So you've got 4 of these little baffles, and then inside of them you've got little wire mesh with sound deadening felt wrapped around them, and then obviously the end cap that fits onto your gun on one end, and the end cap that the pellet comes out on the other end. So, and a little O-ring as well that sits on the end cap. So what I did, like I say, I drilled it out slightly, just enlarged it, only by a mil, but I think that's going to give me enough leeway so that I can feel quite confident that it's not going to clip my pellets or have any sort of detrimental effect to the flight path. The reason that it is, the Priest barrel ends quite a way from the end of the shroud, and then when you've got this really long silencer on it as well, it doesn't take much of a misalignment in either the way that the shroud's fitted to the rifle or the way that the silencer's fitted to the end of the rifle to have a detrimental effect on your shooting. Now obviously this was fantastic with my 177. I put this on when I had the 177 barrel on it, and it was so quiet. I mean, it was whisper quiet, which is why I'm hoping that now as I've bored it out a little bit, and 1 mil's not a great deal, a mil's not a lot, I'm hoping that it will be a lot quieter than the Hugget, probably purely based on its size, because the bigger the I forgot to say there is another wire and felt baffle down there, purely based on the size of it, because it's the volume. The bigger the volume, generally speaking, the bigger the volume and the more the baffles you've got in there, the quieter it's going to be. And obviously because it's a lot longer than the Hugget and a lot bigger, it's got more baffles in, and it's got a bigger volume to absorb and soak up the blast of air and the sound. So I'm hoping that now this A&M Marksman custom silencer, now as I've just bored it out by only a mil, I'm hoping this is going to make my Priest a lot quieter than the Hugget I've got on. I know it's going to add a couple of inches to the length, but I'm not that bothered about that. I've got some really short, tiny bullpup rifles if I need them. I've been using my Priest is more my sort of I don't know what you'd call it, sort of snipery rifle, I suppose. I've got it set up for quite long range shooting, with that great big scope on it that's got loads of holdover, loads of adjustability, because it's a 40mm tube, so I can shoot out at good ranges with that by manually adjusting the turrets. So I'm not bothered about adding an extra few inches onto the length of the rifle. It doesn't bother me, but I want it to be nice and quiet. So I think with this fitted, once I've reassembled it, that should do the trick. The only problem is as usual, I dismantled in a hurry, and I can't remember what sequence the baffles and the different sized bits of wire mesh go into the silencer. So I'm going to have a little bit of a faff about, try and reassemble it as it came, and then fit it to the priest probably tomorrow or over the weekend, and take it out and try it, and hopefully it will hush down the crack from that rifle. Fingers crossed. Because the priest does need just quieting down a little bit. The 2.5's a lot noisier than the 177 cal. And this on the 177 was incredible. I mean, the twink's amazing on it. You can hardly hear it with the twink. Stuck this thing on it, really killed it. Brilliant bit of kit this is. So fingers crossed. Let's hope that everything works out hunky-dory. Thanks for watching.